Hi, I'm PGA Director of Instruction Rick Woodson at Woodbridge Golf Club in Wiley, Texas, just outside of Dallas. I'm going to talk to you today about some of the issues that I see with a lot of golfers and why they struggle to make consistent impact. I've got a fishing rod in my hand, and you can imagine that I'm going to talk to you a little bit about casting in the golf swing, a very common problem that I see with golfers, and it certainly affects their impact positions. I think I got a nibble. Hey, Breed, I got something heavy on the line here. I'm going to get this thing in. Oh, I got it. Nope. No fish, but it certainly looks like the signs of another frustrated golfer. Now let's go over to the golf course and fix your golf frustrations. Nobody saw that. We're going to talk to you today about the most important part of the golf swing, and that's the hitting zone. You see the tour players, if you notice, a lot of different golf swings out there. People do it a lot differently here on the top of the backswing, but if you notice where they are at impact, those positions are absolute. And we have to get the club into a specific position to create more consistent golf. That's what everybody's looking for, more consistent golf. And if I can get a student to understand where he needs to be at impact, then the rest of the golf swing will become very, very easy. So let's talk today about this impact position here. That's what we're looking for. That's what we need to talk about. That's what we're going to address here in this lesson. Okay, what we've done is I've put a couple of shafts together here in the ground. I've placed them in line with my right shoulder, and so that will give us a pretty good visual here of where we begin to start the club into the backswing, midway back. And so a lot of golfers come to me and I see them swinging the club back with just their arms. They're not moving their body. So they're not getting wound up correctly. If we don't get the body wound up correctly, there's absolutely no way that we're going to create good impact positions. So let's talk a little bit about how we get wound up in the backswing. What I like golfers to do is that they're going to begin the golf swing by turning the body, getting the body wound up. So I'm not just swinging my arms back to move the club back. I'm simply turning my body into the backswing. And one of the checkpoints that I want you to have is that the hands are directly in front of your chest. Once we get the club into this position here, to get the club to the top of the backswing is really very simple. There's no lifting of the arms. If I lift my arms, you see what's going to happen. I'm simply going to, once I get to waist high, I'm going to fold my right elbow and allow my wrist to hinge as I'm completing my turn. That's what elevates the golf club to the top of the backswing. The role of the right elbow is greatly misunderstood and not really talked about much in the golf swing. But if you can keep it simple, where I'm moving it back with my pivot, with my body, folding the right elbow and hinging the right wrist, that's going to get the club up in a nice position at the top of the backswing. Now you obviously want to maintain your spine tilt during the backswing. That's another common flaw. You'll see golfers, they'll get the club into position here, finish the backswing, they feel like they've got to lift their body up. Of course, you can see what's going to happen here. I've pulled away from the golf ball. I'm going to have to make a major adjustment into my forward swing to create proper impact positions. I've made it very difficult. That complicates the golf swing. We want to keep it simple. Remember that. Simpler the better. So again, we're set up here. Let's just use our guide here. Rotate back. We're going to now fold the right elbow and hinge the wrist. There's the top of my backswing. Notice how the arms are with my body. They're moving with my body. I'm never lifting my arms up off my body, and I'm certainly never pulling the club back in behind me here. We're going to move everything back to here with the chest, fold the right elbow, hinge the wrist. There's the top of our backswing. Okay, we're at the top of the backswing, and we're going to talk about the transition, getting the club down into the golf ball. And what happens, this is where golfers become confused. What starts the forward swing? You hear a lot of teachers talking about, well, you've got to hit the ground in front of the golf ball. That's right. How do we do that? You're not going to do it when your weight's back here on your right foot. You're not going to do it if you're starting the club down with your arms. What I see a lot of golfers do is it's an impulse for them to get the club head down onto the golf ball as quickly as possible. They try to get the swing over and they end up swinging their hands at it, stalling the body out, and you're not going to create correct impact conditions there. So again, let's go through this, find out what really happens and how we can make that easy for you. We're at the top of the backswing. Again, my body is wound up. You can clearly see that. Now I'm going to use my props here that I have that we used on the backswing, and I'm going to place this in the ground right here by the golf ball. Just kind of straight up and down here. And what I want you to look, and what I'm going to do, this is going to be right in position with the low point of my swing, which is right here on my chest. I'm going to get the golf club back to the top of the backswing and watch what happens with my hips. You'll notice that my belt buckle is on the left side of my prop, on the target side of the prop. My head has not moved forward. It certainly hasn't moved back. I've kept my head in position and I've moved my belt buckle over my left ankle. As that happens, my arms are also coming down as I'm moving my hips forward into the hitting zone. So what is delivering the club into the hitting zone? It's the pivot. It's the move into the left hip. If you can make this move here, you can start to feel how your impact alignments will get a lot more consistent. That's the key. That's the secret to getting the swing started on your downswing. At the top of the backswing, watch my head. Belt buckle is over the left ankle. And you need to feel like there's a rope between your left hand and your left hip. That rope stays taut. And as I move my hip, my hands are falling into position. Now I'm rotating forward. At no point am I moving my head out in front. Again, that's going to destroy our impact positions. If I fall backwards, the club's going to get stuck, which is going to affect my impact positions. Again, keep the head in the same spot. Going to move the belt buckle over the left ankle, rotate into impact. Now at this point, all I'm going to do is continue my turn. I'm not going to give up on my swing here. I'm going to continue my rotation, and I'm going to let my arms follow the turn of the body. At that point, then the head can finish here out in front of the low point of the swing. Very simple stuff. I think that if you work on this, you'll find your impact conditions will greatly improve. I'm going to hit a shot for you, and I'm going to demonstrate how simple these impact alignments are. And that's something that you should constantly work on in your golf game to make your ball striking more consistent. Pretty simple move. We'll stop on that, guys. Hi, this is Rick Woodson. I'm going to talk to you today about our impact position. I've got an impact bag here in front of me, and I stress the importance of impact in all my students, how to arrive to that position very consistently. And I'm going to give you a drill that's going to reinforce everything that we've talked about. I'm going to take my normal position here with my setup. I'm going to have the impact bag in the middle of my body, middle of my stance, just like I would my iron shot. This happens to be a 7-iron. What I want you to do is take your left hand. We're going to put it back behind the right. We're going to go ahead and move the golf club to the top of the backswing. You'll notice how my left hand is flush up against the back of my right. When I come into the impact area, I want to try to maintain that relationship. What you'll find is if you start casting it from the top, you'll see a great deal of separation here between my left hand and the right. So I want to maintain this position here where the back of my left hand is resting on my right. And again, I want to move my weight into my left hip socket so that now my body supports my wrist angles into the hitting zone. Try that tip, it'll work, I promise you.